not playing regular football for their clubs. And I just wonder if going to the World Cup, they might just be rusty. I hope that's not the case, but that's what it's looking like right now. So, and there's nothing Keshi can do about that, really. He's not the coach of the national team. So we're just going to hope that these players, whatever happens, they get to play more games before the season runs out.
Tayo, the coach answered that question at the editors' roundtable. He says they are good players and that he's confident that, in fact, he said the last game against Arsenal when he watched Mikel, he could still say that he's playing good for that. It's just unfortunate they are not playing. But I mean, that's a big problem. Yeah,
it's a problem. Like when you say it's unfortunate they're not playing, Jose Mourinho is not benching Mikel because he wants to bench him. He's benching him because of somebody else there that is playing better, and that's Nemanja Matic. That guy came in January, in the January transfer window, and he took over Mikel's place. So it's unfortunate, but then it's just the fact of the matter is our players right now, some of them are not good enough to hold down regular sports in their team. It doesn't mean they can't play well for Nigeria when it comes. Like I said, I hope they're not too rusty when the World Cup kicks off in Brazil on June 12th.
Let's take Tayo Salam's opinion. Let's listen to Coach Stephen Keshi. I caught up with him, and then he spoke about a lot of issues, but he's particularly concerned about preparations for the World Cup. And if you think it's just going to pick players to the World Cup, you're wrong. He's got a criteria. Coach Stephen Keshi will speak to us this morning on the program. I'll come back. We'll talk. Stay.
Better organization, better planning, everything, all hands on deck, and we just do what we need to do. Every department of our being going to World Cup and be successful need to play their game professionally and 100%. Nigeria is blessed with a lot of players, and unfortunately we cannot have all the players. So we have to do with 23-man team, and for us it's a little bit difficult because football World Cup is the biggest stage. Every football player wants to play, so everybody's doing what he has to do to be seen or to be given opportunity to go to the World Cup. We just leave everything and see how it takes shape, and we try. The most important thing is to give best 23-man leagues to Nigerians, or for Nigerians to be happy about, and there's no other sentiment. No way. There's no negotiation on that.
No sentiment, no way. Right there, he was talking about Osaze Odewige and then Ike Uche. He says Nigeria has got abundant of talent. We're talking about football. Everybody can't go to the World Cup, but he's saying that they want to take the best 23 players to the World Cup.
Yeah, we'll find out when the list comes out eventually. But then those two players you just mentioned now, Osaze and Ike Uche, contentious issue is going to be until that list comes out, and we'll find out whether they've made it or not. But then he's been talking about planning as well. So we talked about planning earlier, and we have to give kudos to the Nigerian Football Federation. They've been doing a lot in terms of that. We've had a series of friendly games already now. We have Scotland coming up in the near future. So I think it's been a good preparation for Nigeria. I believe so.
Coach Stephen Keshi, speaking of picking his 23-man squad for the 2014 FIFA World Cup that will take place in Brazil, I still want you to talk to us before Tayo gets talking again. Talk to us. You listen to Coach Stephen Keshi. What do you think he should consider while picking his 23-man squad? He says for him, teamwork does it. A lot of people say current form. What's your take? Talk to us on Twitter, our channels _sports, and on Facebook for channels-sports. That was the last game against Mexico, and then goalless. But he said, don't judge us with that game.
Yeah, it's a friendly match. But then remember this game had 3 debutants: Ezekiel Limo, Michael Uchebo, and Ramon Aziz. It'll be very interesting to see.
Leon Balogun.
Leon Balogun as well. That's 4, So it will be very interesting to see if any of these players actually crash the party to Brazil. Me personally, I really don't see any one of them making it to Brazil. But like I said in the previous show, these guys are definitely ones for the future.
Speaking about the future, the coach was also questioned on if there's any possibility of picking a player from the successful under-17 team, talking about the likes of Kelechi Iheanacho, Isaac, and even Dele Alampasa, and he says No, they are way too young.
Oh, he's giving you a very definite answer on that. Yeah, way too young. They're not ready for this level of football. But you asked the question about what should be the most important criteria for actually picking Nigerian players to the World Cup. The obvious answer to that is players that are on form, players that are playing very well for their clubs. But then if that's the case, the likes of Osaze and Ike, they've not been part of the setup. So you wonder what's going on there. But Keshi is the man. He will be held responsible for whatever happens at the World Cup. And if he feels those guys that they're not good enough for him, or they'll bring some kind of schism into the group, then so be it. But if you look at some coaches actually have players that they trust. You know, some players. An example is Ashiko. Ashiko is not playing very well he's not playing for Chelsea, and he might just go to the World Cup, and that's because the coach has absolute trust in his ability.
Don't push away his experience too. Okay, sports this morning on Channels Television. Just before we go on this quick break, let's also let you know that Nigeria's Yahaya Abubakar Asiatu has qualified for the judo event of this year's Youth Olympic Games that will take place in China in August. Asiatu qualified by the university system of the International Judo Federation. So it's a good one for Nigeria. And also remember in Taekwondo, we're given a wild card. So opportunity to see these young ones, participate and then gain that important exposure we always talk about.
Absolutely. Good one for all these combat sports now, Taekwondo, judo. It's a good one to see that Nigeria, we're not behind when it comes to the sports. And the new sports minister, my own word to him is that all these lesser sports as well, so he should have a plan for them. We didn't go to the first edition of this Youth Olympics in Singapore. It's good to see that Nigeria has finally caught up with them.
It's good to see that we're actually giving the young ones an opportunity to, put their talent into some proper tests. We'll go on a quick break now. When we come back, we'll talk about the English Premier League, where, of course, the action, the drama never ends. It took Manchester City just 44 seconds to tell us that they won the league title again. We'll let you see how that game ended at Old Trafford. It was Manchester City 3, Manchester United again 0. We'll talk. Stay.
The weekend, but that was very ambitious. It's just the pace of Manchester City's play and the movement. And that was just outstanding from Raphael. And I thought, well, he saved the day. He can't recover in time once it's fed back to Nasri. And he's a little bit unlucky. But Dzeko, as good strikers do, they gamble. Get into that 6-yard box, and it worked out perfectly.
Well, Edin Dzeko scored twice here in the derby 2 seasons ago. 2 of 6 that day for City.
Post.
So with the same routine again. Nasri, and Steed in for number 2. And it's that man again, Edin Dzeko. 5 derby goals in 6 derby appearances now. Toure, Milner. Silva, Milner. Yaya Toure. Makes it 3. 3 points, 3 goals, and another huge statement at the home of their bitter rivals.
So that's it. What else can I say? The misery of Moyes continues. Manchester United 6th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 home defeat of the season.
Jose Mourinho hasn't lost a game in 76 games at Stamford Bridge. That tells you what you need to know.
That's Jose. This is Moyes. Manchester United fans, I want to get you talking again. We need to understand what's going on. Because, a lot of coaches that didn't even do this bad, they're already gone.
They're gone.
And then David Moyes,
he's still hanging on. Miraculously, and interestingly, Star Bobby Charlton came out yesterday before the game.
And says he's the right man.
Yeah, he's absolutely convinced David Moyes is the right man. We'll see about that at the end of the season. Okay. All I know is the Manchester United rivals actually want David Moyes to stay for another 6 years.